as we've gotten a couple weeks of it here, what are your overall thoughts of it? And do you think the NFL is happy with how it's gone so far in this rollout?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to let it play out, but I think they are very happy with it. And I think obviously we wanted to bring the kickoff return back into being a play because that hasn't been. And it goes back to the Super Bowl always kind of is the precedent to rule changes. What we had last year, 14 kickoffs in the Super Bowl and not one was returned. It looks different, but I like it, and I like it. The only thing I would just say, I don't think the penalty of kicking a ball into the end zone going to the 30 is a great deterrent. I think if you moved it to the 35-yard line, if you move it to the 35-yard line, now as a team kicking off, I don't know if I want to give you a first down. I'll give you 5 yards, but I'm not sure I want to give you a first down. So I'll be interesting to see. I know if it was me right now, I mean, we're all kicking into that zone because we want to see guys cover kicks. We want to see what kind of a body of work we can gather with it. But it'll be interesting to see when the season starts, is it really worth the risk of the unknown in terms of what they may be showing to you and only giving up 5 yards? I think if they move it, which I think there's a chance I don't know if they will, but because I think they're coming together at the end of this month for one last talk about it, because I think once we get into the season, they'll stay with the rule. But I think moving it to 35 would be a great move.
Okay, I didn't know we could still potentially sway some voters in this rule. I agree with you 10,000%. And that was Younghoe Koo making a tackle down there for Atlanta. Missed a couple kicks, laid the hammer, okay? There's going to be games like that. There's going to be games like that. Younghoe Koo was also an incredible onside kicker, which has seemingly been kind of taken away from this. Obviously, surprise onsides are done. That's a big-time tackle by a kicker right there. I love everything about it from Younghoe Koo. I did not know we were still voting on this, potentially changing this. We need that to go to the 35. That was the original pitch as well. And then as they're selling this new kickoff that looks weird, and a lot of people that didn't know this was coming are like, what the hell is this? This doesn't look anything like it. They're still going to get all the touchbacks at 30. They're still going to, and the way you worded it there is wonderful. And it's also percentages as well on scoring, starting drive start, like the percentage you will score on that entire thing. You said, I'm not going to give you a first down. I'll give you 5 yards, though, because that could happen. Like 35 would be a vastly different game. And that was originally the pitch from the special teams coaches. It changed last minute, I think, Coach. I think it changed last minute.
Yeah. You know, the other thing, you talk about that tackle by the kicker, the other thing you got to look at, how about a guy like Justin Tucker? Do I want to risk Justin Tucker now being a part of this play when he's a guy that I'm going to need in week 16, 17 playoffs going down the wire, the best kicker in football? So there's a degree that you're right. The kicker now becomes an important part of that play. He's going to be involved with that. It's like a punt almost anymore. To me, it's what it is. And there's going to be a lot of back. I think you're going to use the field a lot more than you're seeing right now. There's a lot of imagination and creativity that some of these special teams coaches are talking about. I know I would be, in terms of a throwback, in terms of reverse from a frontline person, and maybe coming back and giving the ball to him. And so I think there's a lot of creativity. But again, I go back to the same thing. It's risk and reward. And to me, I don't know if I would risk that for just 5 yards. 10 yards, I think we have to talk about that now.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll change it or not. Because if not, it's just going to be touchback. I mean, and it's supposed to be a new electrifying addition. Now it just looks different, looks weird, and it's the same outcome potentially.
Well, it may take a whole year, Pat, honestly, because I think you look at the number of returns we have right now in the preseason, it's been way, way up. I mean, it's a huge number. Again, it is the preseason. I caution everything, even as we sit there and judge quarterbacks, the same thing about, it's not good. Be careful. It's a preseason. It's very simple,
Coach, stop right there. Yeah. Stop right there. Have you seen this play? Caleb Williams, number one overall pick. Gets a snap. What's he doing? Oh, he's in the pocket. He's dancing. He's getting, flip, hip, dip, shit, bucket.
Wow.
Greatest player of all time.
Yeah. You're saying that.
Greatest player. I'm very pumped. I'm very excited. But everybody that knows football.
Those 4 guys rushing will be on the developmental squad.
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying.
No, but to your point about this is preseason, like coaches right now, special teams coaches, no touchbacks here. What are we doing? Like, even if we were going to kick touchbacks all season, in preseason, at least 2 of the games, it's like, hey, we got to see who can if we have to have a cover. And with this new kickoff, the surprise onside kick is gone. And you talked about it right there. You said, I knew I would. From your documentary, I learned, which I don't think I knew, special teams coordinator, I believe, is where you started this entire thing, right?
Oh, yeah. I started, and so Bill Belichick also started as a special teams coach. So we come from this. We were we were out of the same breed. I mean, we both were special teams coordinators, go to the special teams coaches, defensive coordinators, and then you become a head coach. So that's why, we take this stuff seriously.
Well, and also 1996 Super Bowl, Dallas Cowboys, Pittsburgh Steelers, surprise onside kick.
Yeah, it's no longer.
Whoa.
Yeah,
surprise onside kick in the Super Bowl. It's like what a move!
It was Norm Johnson to Deion Figures. There he is catching it. We had it the whole time. Matter of fact, I knew that play was there, and one of the thoughts I had was, do we do it to opening kickoff? Oh. And I thought, well, if you do the opening kickoff, do you really gain any momentum? You really don't gain a possession. So I said, so we saved it, and obviously the third quarter we ran it, but that play now no longer exists in the game. Thank you for showing it. I appreciate it. Hey, Sean Payton, he opened up the second half.
Yeah, I know. I was
his
there.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was there.
I
was there. Let's have a moment of silence for that son of a bitch. No, not that one, honestly. A moment of silence for the surprise onside kick.
Yeah, please.
Well, we're trying.
Thank you.
Coach.
Appreciate that.
It's a moment of silence.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Coach, silence is what we're looking for.
I know.
This is good, Coach.
I was on the competition committee
Coach,
for
we're trying
4
to have
years.
a fucking moment of silence for the onside kick.
I know. But before you do so, I just want to give you a little background. Mike Holmgren tried to get rid of the onside kick, and I used to stand up every year at the league meetings and sit there and talk about that play. Mr. Rooney, I'd say, he'd go, not now, not now. He goes, not now, Coach. He goes, now. I'd stand up, and I would give this talk about the fact that you have one of the greatest plays in our terms of a game. It's about strategy. It's about matchups. It's about decision-making. And what greater play is there about strategy and decision-making to try an onside kick, just even to try one, and then to successfully do one that gets you back into the game? And you're going to take that away from us? Please, moment of silence.
You're a great play. Cowher stood on it. Jesus.
I miss you. I will always miss you.
So you calling it in the Super Bowl was so that the next year, whenever they try to take it away, you could stand up and say, in the biggest games,
100%. And it worked. It worked every year. So Mike Holmgren finally got his wish. So tell Mike that he finally got his wish. But I defended that play for so long. And when I just saw this new rule, and I told Roger, too, at the Hall of Fame, I was there for that weekend, that I was very, very disappointed in this decision. But I embraced it. I know we want the kickoff return back. We had Devin Hester go in. It was a great weekend. I think you were there. You were coming in as I was going out because Dwight Freeney, what a great group it was. And love going back there every year. Kind of kicks off the season. And, hey, we were calling it right there in the huddle.
How about KG?
Look at the guy. See how far the guy was leaving? He was doing that the entire year.
Can't be peeking. Hey, see the ball off the tee. See the ball off the tee. It's been said 1,000 times. I love a good onside kick, surprise onside as well. Rest in peace, honestly, and thank you for your tribute.
Yes.
Even though you were kind of, you made it. The moment of silence was not needed at the time. We needed more information.
Yep.
What was Holmgren's problem? Why didn't Holmgren like it, Coach?
Because he just thought he thought it was a dumb play. He thought it was injury ridden. And I said, well, you know what? Okay, then let's do something with the end of the game when everyone's on one side and we go try to blow everybody out. I get it. From that standpoint, it was not a. Were you were on the hands team? Were you, AJ? No one wanted to be on the hands team, particularly at front line. You were going to get blown up. Okay, I get it. But the surprise element of that, to me, is what makes our game great because we are about strategy. It's move, counter movement. It's a great game we have, and that was always a big part of the game. So I don't know. I think Mike didn't like it because I liked it.
Well, I love that. If there's those types of petty beefs happening in the rules committee,
that happens. That's the case.
Don't say that. We don't need to even get in on that because all these things that start happening, then I don't want to start diving in and judging humans.
Right.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
No.
I appreciate, though, that whenever you talk about it, you had such passion for it, and obviously you live it. I hope it can continue to be a play because they're talking about just eliminating kickoff. That's basically what they seemingly allegedly said.
I know.
Yeah. All right.
I like it. And the more I was watching it, I think the first thing you start thinking about is, okay, if this was you catching it, what can we do? And, how far back can you move that front line? And maybe if I put a receiver on the outside and I let him come back and I start to return one way, so maybe there's a crossing there that takes place that, maybe I hand it off, maybe I don't. And so it's it's like it's like it's just it's like yeah. So I like the concepts and things you could creatively do with it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would kick off. Again, I go back to the same thing. 5 yards to me is not a big deal.
Agreed.
And
hopefully
10 yards is.
Hopefully they're able to change it. We get some magic. And the surprise onside, we need to figure out how to get that back into a game somewhere. Yep. Because everything you talked about with if this is not our game, what is? It's like, how about the courage to call it too and to pull it off? The courage.
Yeah, right.
And like I don't want to say like the stick-to-itiveness, but normally when you call that, you're in it. Like, hey, we are going for this regardless. And it's like, that's a massive piece of the game as well. Execution in a big moment. You only get one opportunity. We did some surprise onsides. And like the feeling before one of those was just like so sweet. It's like, all right, if this does not work, we are pretty fucked. And that's like a good feeling.
Yes, and even the middle one, that little bunt that you do, like I always used to try to practice the bunt, like this, just bunt it and get two guys to take out that middle guy, and the kicker can just jump on it. So it's just like make sure you get it there 10 yards, just don't kick it 9, So
20. Yeah, kick it perfect actually. Kick it 10.5 yards, have it bounce up right to you like you needed to, and then have nobody hit you either.
Yep,
that's what happened to me. That actually happened. In a game.
You recovered an onside kick?
Nobody touched me either. No, I mean, it was, because we hit a surprise right, and then we hit a surprise left. So they had hands team up both sides. Then all of a sudden, we're just sitting staring at a wide open. Yeah, here it is. This is in Houston. Bang, pow.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Didn't even touch me. I didn't even have to eat any, helmet, spine, nothing. It was, but as I'm running up to that ball, it's like, okay, here we go. Probably going to get a shot to the spine, probably the liver. I don't know what else is back there. And you got to make sure it doesn't go too far. And if we get it, great. If you don't, just walk off the field, though. Just walk off the field there because obviously those.
That was well done. That was well executed.
Thank you. Yeah, I could never do it again. I only had to do it once, though. And we move along.
Yeah.